Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 5 in my second Let's Play series for Anno 1800. Now in the last episode we built our first airship, and with it, we were able to find and rescue Sir John Faithful, completing the main quest chain for the Arctic. Now afterwards, we began preparations for our first glacial colony so that we could establish gas mines. Now, I think this is going to take us a little bit longer than I'd originally anticipated. At the end of the last episode, we had just set up our sky trading post, and I just put down a couple of houses just to say that we're there, we're on Hopefell, and we're ready to go. But of course, nothing can be produced on this glacial island or any of the glacial islands except for gas, so everything has to be imported in. So I thought to myself, well, it doesn't really make sense to actually build up a colony here while we don't have things coming in already. We should do it the other way around, right? You want to set up all of your external trade routes coming into here, delivering everything that they're going to need, and then build a colony. At least that way it's the safest way to do it. Otherwise, you might end up not keeping up with how the colony is trying to grow. They might have needs that you can't fulfill the demand, and then they might get cold, get sick, and they might die. So I think this way is just a bit smarter. So I removed the houses here, don't worry, everyone was ferried off the island, it's totally fine. And I paused the production of the coal burner, or the heater. Everything else nothing else needs heat or anything like that, so it's all good. This is just settled, ready for us to, come back to it once we've got all the trade routes set up. Now, speaking of settling glaciers, there are, of course, 4 glacial islands that you can kind of set up, and they all seem to have 13 gas. And I think the reason for that is obviously, typically, this game is played with 4 competitors. Of course, we have destroyed one of those competitors. Lady Margaret Hunt is no longer in our game, so it makes sense that we should take at least 2 of these glaciers, right? Because someone's going to get 2. It might as well be us. It only takes 4 influence to settle it, I think, so it's not too bad. Now, I've got a airship here, which I will just go off and settle this one. This is, I think, the second biggest one. I don't know for sure. They all have 13 gas. So I'm just going to go to that one. It's kind of in the middle. I guess I'm just looking at the radar. It's this one here, right? So we're going to go for that one right there. Settle that now. Again, we'll come back to it in the future when we think we can set things up. So in this episode, specifically, what I'm going to be doing is getting this island up and running to kind of produce caribou and whale oil, or whatever. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think so. Whale blubber. And that's all going to be shipped back to here, where we're going to make pemmican and hopefully oil lamps. And that'll be the kind of starter stuff needed to get us to fully satiate the demands of our explorers here. So that's at least my plan for now. I think this is going to take a lot longer than I'd anticipated, because it's a lot tougher than I remember it being. I don't remember it being this difficult, but it's quite the challenge. I really had to look in between episodes for quite a while about what I could do, potentially. And I'm kind of at my limit, because I think it's really the influence that's hurting me as well. I can't squeeze more things out of people with the Arctic lodges unless I can get more influence. So I think that's really a constant bottleneck that I really got to work on. But let's just, I don't know, settle somewhere here. We can always move it later. It's got everything it needs to do it. Looks like there's no room. Let's just settle over there really quickly. Of course, we have 2 airships. I actually forgot to name them. I'm gonna have a time lapse in this episode. I might just duck out to the comments and see what people said, because I was reading them earlier. There's lots of suggestions actually, and it was awesome to read. You guys got the quote right. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Boom. Yeah, it was just 4 influence, so not too bad. Let's take up the construction material, though. We're not going to need it here. Oh, I couldn't grab it there for a sec. Alright, cool. Now, the other thing, you might be wondering where some of the influence is gone. I'm building 2 cargo ships, and it'll make sense a little bit later as to why. But essentially, I want to... we need to get coal coming up here a bit more regularly. And I was looking over my trade routes. There are a lot of obvious deficiencies and inefficiencies in some of my trade routes anyway. The main thing being that a lot of my trade routes are just dealing with one good. And, people brought this up before, and I was aware of it. But I think we could squeeze a bit more influence out of this by, compressing or combining more of our trade routes to deal with multiple things rather than just always dealing with one thing. And one example of that, for instance, a bad example here is Old World coal, right? This route, here's the Old World. It's basically taking coal from Rush and Skerries and delivering it to Lusk. Lusk is our production island, and we're gathering coal from 2 other islands. Makes sense. We've got 2 ships doing it, and everything seems fine. But it says the resource cannot be unloaded as the storage is full. So fair enough, and that's actually quite a lot, right? We're constantly filling up Lusk, actually. If we have a look at it really quickly. And we go to raw materials. It's basically just full. And we can keep increasing the storage. Eventually, it's just always going to fill up because we're not using it as much as we're producing it, which is good. But it does mean that I have another trade route called coal. Well, we actually never named it, which was a mistake on my part. But basically, it's picking up the coal from Lusk and then shipping it off. So I've got a better idea. Why not just get rid of all this? We should really look at where this ship is. It seems like it's maybe moving between routes at the moment. There it is. So it's actually just about to arrive, which is fine. So let's optimize this route just a little bit. It'll be a quick one, don't worry. So let's just say don't drop off any coal or gold at Lusk. Don't pick up any gold either. Just drop off the coal. Actually, you know what? This could just get off the route altogether. We don't need this route at all. Did I save that? No, sorry. Get off the route. Dun, dun, dun. So down here we have the old world coal supply. So what we're going to do is just add the Arctic to this. So after you're done dropping everything off at Lusk, instead of just going around the same route, now go to the Arctic and drop stuff off up here. And King William Island is really going to be where all of the imports come in. And then we're going to have other ships that will take stuff around these islands here. So coal has to be delivered to pretty much every island we have people. So this is where coal is basically going to come in from the old world and then get shipped around. And the airship's going to do the same. So let's go unload all the coal here. And should they? Yeah, and wait to unload, I think. So this will be the last stop-off point, and you're going to wait to unload this. And hopefully this will make sense in a bit. And then we're going to also add another ship to this. I'll have to probably wait a bit, because it's intersession right now, or interregional. Is that it? So it just comes in here, and then it goes straight back. Yep, that's fine. So we're going to rename this now to Old World Arctic Coal. Okay. So you might be wondering, whoa, what about the gold, right? What about the gold? For the gold, what we can do is we have a route that goes to from the old world to the Arctic, and it's called supply. And it drops off schnapps, brass, canned food, and coffee, which is awesome. But it doesn't load anything on its way back, so it's coming back with nothing, right? So we might as well load the gold, because that's something we produce up there. And then we'll switch this around. So gold is going to get dropped off at Lusk, our production island, even though we don't actually use it right now, but eventually we will. And we'll have discard cargo on. So if you can't unload it, if I'm just filling up the place with gold ore before I actually get the chain set up, just discard, empty yourself out, and then you'll be good to go. Now, I want to have 2 ships on that route, not just 1, and I want to have 3 on the coal route, because we're obviously adding a lot of time for the time it takes to travel between sessions, so we'll need more ships. Or we could get items that will speed us up. So we're parked out here. We're berthed out here, I guess you could say. And we need to grab as many of these things as we can. Steamships, movement speed, 7%. So just grab that. So in between episodes, I kind of had to look at some of the items that we could use to improve our steamships. And it's mostly just this item, the propellers, that have the different stages of rarity. You can get these things. Sorry, this one here. Which is usable as a ship piston or whatever. It's only when you activate it though, so it's not really that good for trade routes and things. Now there's other items you could get, such as captains and other things like that. Shut up, Archibald! So yeah, captains and things like that would also be passive speed buffs. So that's what we'll try to do. And then loading and unloading speed buffs as well, that you can kind of find. But yeah, let's just keep re-rolling. There's another one, we'll get that one. I don't know if you can actually activate multiple. I guess you can. It's kind of interesting to know. And we're going to try to equip the as many intercession ships with these things as possible. I'm sure there's good items that I'm probably not even seeing and, you know, not using, but in fact, we could get one of these. We might as well in case we do want to use it. Yep, let's get that. Let's get another one. And the way, of course, you can identify these things is by looking in the statistics screen and selecting items and then seeing like what items does Archibald get us that we'd want to use. Yeah, okay, we'll have to leave it at that because we're basically full up and it's saying like, oh, you can't get any more because they're already equipped. So we'll leave it at that, plus the rerolls are getting kind of expensive now. So there you go. Our ship's now moving a little bit faster. I'm just gonna send this to the Arctic and wait there for the coal ships to come in. that a good idea? Yeah, I think I'll do that. Send it to the Arctic. Wait for the coal ships to come in. And then just give them their items. Yeah, I think that I'll do it that way. I know it's a bit weird to do it that way. It's just, for me, it's the best way I'll remember to do it, basically. Oh, actually, no. I should have waited for the ships that are going to be made. No, that would have made more sense. Because we've got 2 ships being produced right here. Oh, did we already make one? We're making one, and we've got one queued up. No. There it is. Yeah, we have already made one. Alright, I'm just going to send this to the Arctic. We'll give it the item, and then we'll put it on the trade route. Okay, cool. Anyways, so yeah, so that's at least part of the plan, right? So here's the ship that just came in. Drop off all your coal, that's fine. Just throw that overboard, it's okay. This already has a propeller on it, it's great. So we're going to add this now to another trade route. This one can go on the coal route anyway. Polar Express, boom. So it's going to go to Rush, Skerries, Lusk, where it drops off as much as it can, and then it'll drop off the rest at King William, and it'll wait to unload everything. So the next thing then is, with another ship that's going to be made, is putting a route on that's going to deliver coal, but I don't need to do that right now.
Cargo stations.
Cool. So, because this is going to be such a trade hub, we're going to have to add more and more storage to it. The place is like really maxed out. And then we'll also get an extra pier or 2. We can slam them in sideways. There we go. Let's just, I don't know, kind of makes it look nice if we rotate that.
The cat in that box is dead.
Something really cool I noticed. So I was streaming this game recently because I was playing Docklands. Thank you to Ubisoft for sending it to me. And we will have that active in our next episode. But yeah, so I was streaming it because that's part of the Twitch drops thing for it. And I noticed when zooming in here, we just happened to be looking at it. These guys actually fire their harpoons, I guess, to hit the whales. It's just, I was just, again, blown away by the detail. I was like zoomed in on this. I was talking about the Arctic and talking about the save file. I just happened to look and I was like, if he actually shoots that, this is going to be amazing. Wait for it. Yes! And then obviously they just get the whale immediately or whatever. But the fact that it actually has a little noise. Now, for whatever reason, I didn't hear the noise there, but you do hear it going off every now and then. And when I zoomed in on it on Twitch, you just hear the little as it flies out. And I was like, oh my god. I was just blown away by it. So anyway, you can hear it there actually in the distance. So what I'm going to do is also set a reserve of 150 coal. And we also need a reserve of pemmican. Probably like 50 at least. Probably a bit more than that actually. Let's do 100. So now we have up to 400 storage. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, great. So what I'll probably end up doing is getting rid of these caribou hunting cabins. Because this is what I'm going to set up here, basically. So this place is only going to be focused on caribou and whale abundance. Now, I think we can only fit about 5 whale things here, so we only need 5 caribou. And then we can try to figure out what else needs to be there. Now, there's obviously sickness noise is playing. What's the problem? What seems to be the issue? Oh, it's over here. Oh, and I can confirm in the next patch. I've had to revert the patch for this. I can confirm in the next patch that stuttering that I've been getting is fixed. So that's good. So if you've also been getting that, hopefully it's fixed. Oh, they're just outside of the reach of this ranger station. Huh. That's an issue. That's so annoying. Just by one tile. Ugh. Why do you have to do that to me? I guess we could just put another one of these down. It's not really a big deal. Alright, that'll fix that. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything. So, with regards to Docklands, there's an embargo, so you can't really give opinion, you can't do videos about it, but you can stream it, and there are Twitch drops. In fact, I wonder, do I have the Twitch drops? No. Oh, I do. Oh, sweet. After getting them. I mean, they're just like really small things. And a Morris column? I feel like that's not... There he is. Docklands lamppost. And the Docklands flag. So it's a bit different than actually it was before. That's kind of cool. Normally it's always just the little billboards, you know, for Bright Harvest, and then the big flag to accompany it. I guess they've got a little lamppost that says Docklands. That's kind of nice. So those are Twitch drops. I'll be live again, by the way, on Wednesday. I know this is very time sensitive, but Wednesday the 24th where the drops will still be active if you want to get those 2 ornaments. They're obviously just like small little things, but they're nice for collectathon type people out there that want to get everything. I'm trying to think what else.
Are starting to get sick.
Yes, we have the docklands ornaments now. Nice. Oh yeah. Oh, we got to put this. I should have done this in between episodes or something. We should definitely put them around up here or something. I think that'd be kind of cool here. Actually, it's a bit more of an upper class, I'd say, engineer monument. What do we have? We have the Traveler's Kiosk, though. So let's get that. Screw the pizzeria. That'll be for the tourism. So obviously tourism's not going to be coming for a little while yet. But it's nice to get some of the unique stuff in there. Alright, cool. So Tuesday in this Let's Play, I know we're focusing on the Arctic a lot, but in the Let's Play on Tuesday, I'm going to be building up a big docklands thing here and talking you through it. Hopefully also, if I've done my work right, I'll also have a review up for it as well, and then I can give opinion and stuff like that. But for those who came to the stream, I don't normally stream Anno, but those who were there, for those who don't know, I stream Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays at the moment. Stream pretty much the entire day for those 3 days. It's not always Anno, but obviously with the recent DLC, it has been Anno. And we had really great viewership as well. And the other YouTuber, Tarek Zula, I think it is. I always get the name wrong. Apologies if I got it wrong. But it's either Takarazuka or Tarek Zula. I can't remember. But prominent Anno YouTuber and streamer, I guess, as well. He rated me with quite a lot of viewers, so I really do appreciate that. And yeah, it was awesome playing through it and just talking through everything and experiencing it. I really didn't know how it was going to all work, so it was really fun just getting a piece of new content and checking it out and seeing how it all works. I'll just mention it really quickly because it is important, I guess. We'll let them settle there. I actually managed to remove the entire beer industry and like... Yeah, I won't go over it now because I could go off on a massive tangent with it, but our champagne is so... We produce so much excess champagne that I was able to sell the champagne through the docklands and import beer. So by just having 2 champagne buildings, all I needed was 2, and obviously they were powered in Lusk, but 2 champagne buildings, I was able to get rid of the 4 breweries we have, obviously in the entire malt and hops production, saving just an absolute ton of workforce. So, I don't know, like, is it balanced or not? I don't know how any of that, but it was fun to do, but I'm like, oh, goddamn, you know, I can get rid of so much industry now by just exporting high-level goods. And obviously, when you start with it in your campaign, you're building up alongside of it, it's different, but introducing it into a late-game campaign, you're like, oh, I'll just destroy my entire bottom industry, because I can now export, like, the top stuff. So, we'll see how it all shakes out, but that might be something I'll be looking to do. One of the items you can import is actually caoutchouc, and I was saying I had an issue with caoutchouc, so that would be a fun one to actually work with, and we'll discuss that later. There's other things I could do for caoutchouc, though. We could introduce tractor barns here. I totally forgot to do that, and we'll get way more out of this place, so we'll see how that goes. Right, so that ship is being created. Let's just leave it here. This is going to be...
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
Cold coal, because in the Arctic... Create a trade route, Arctic, here, to there, Eventually probably go there, but Desperation Bay I probably won't do anything with. So King William, we're going to load up on raw materials, just a lot of coal. This ship is only going to deal with coal, and so we're only going to ever need 1 for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, and just drop it all off everywhere you can. Oh, there's already a ship up there right now, so we'll go with that one. Oh, yeah, because I was going to put the item on it. We'll pause the trade route, I guess. So this is going to be AC coal supply. AC coal supply. Pause the route. Is that working? Yeah.
Such impressive foliage. And I have you to thank.
There you go. It's got its speed. And we have set our minimum threshold, so now we can let it do its thing. Alright, firing on all cylinders. So now we're going to be delivering coal here, and we're going to be delivering coal here. So there won't really be any need to set up our own charcoal kilns. We should hopefully have just everything be brought in. And then we should get our airship to pick up more as well and deliver it around. So hopefully I've thought all of this through. I think I have. Just having a look at my notes. That was one of my notes was to optimize that trade route. And to make sure I set minimums and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Excuse me. Just the last thing I'm going to check here before we go into a time lapse and build up that island is, yeah, we've built our 2 ships down here. Let's have a look at the situation. Coal is full. That has 1 on it. The Arctic supply is the other one I'm looking for. This only has 1 ship. This needs a 2nd ship. That's what I'm looking at. Right. Hot kipper. So 2 ships are going to be like unloading the gold, picking up the brass and all of that stuff, because that's going to be needed. And the coal supply that goes to the Arctic, there's 3 ships on it. This one's full. This one is nothing. This one is cool. So I guess they're slightly inefficient because they are coming back with nothing, because I am telling them to wait to unload. So they could come back with gold or something else. Maybe, yeah, maybe gas actually. You could come back with gas with your airships, but if I just have the airships staying in the Arctic, or like one of them, and just delivering gas to King William Island, then this would make sense to bring gas back. And it could... yeah, I could add like... it's actually passing by swords, so we could just add it there. I don't know. Anyway, so that's the situation. So I've actually done a good amount of reorganizing there, I think. There's still more to be done. Always more to be done. We've settled this island. Yeah, we're good to go. Alright, so let's begin. I have this paused. I'm just going to let time play now. Let's begin our time lapse for developing Seal Inlet, which I'm going to call... I don't know. Humpback Quays. Because we are going to fill up this coast with whaling stations or whatever they're called. Alright, let's begin the time lapse. Alrighty, so for Humpback Quays, I decided to build a lot more efficiently here than I normally do. Because obviously I've been struggling in the Arctic and I'm like, okay, let's actually try to play to our strengths and try to build efficiently and make use of heaters and things like that. So the first thing I got to work on was putting down every whaling station that we could possibly fit on the coastline, and then basically building a sort of grid-like residential zone of 3x2 in each little grid, and then covering those with heaters either side, and that seems to work pretty well. The heaters can kind of wrap around a 3x2 residential zone, if you want to call it that. Then putting down canteens and things like that, and the Arctic lodges in the center of the town so they can have their optimal coverage over the whole town if we can. I don't plan on putting technicians here, so there's no... well, not that you need it for Arctic lodges, but there's no Arctic lodges or anything that the technicians are going to need, like post offices and things like that. So it's pretty straightforward. Maybe eventually, but for now, having a little modular-looking town like this means that we can fit things in just fine. And I kind of build the canteens, as you may notice, a little offset, because you actually don't need to have them covered by heaters. I actually, coincidentally, do have them covered by heaters, but they don't need to be. So you can have them sort of on the extremities of your town feeding in, if you want. Obviously, at some point, you probably have to cover them with a heater just because some houses might not be covered, you know, if you're not careful. So just putting down some extra stores, transferring items between ships and things like that. I'm always ferrying construction material up here. And I was just checking on the distances between heaters and housing and things like that. But I decided now I had enough workforce in place that I could start putting down the hunting cabins. So I've got 2 out on the bottom right here. I'm just kind of finagling, trying to make sure they have their heat, but they also have 100% productivity and surrounding, I don't even know what it's called, forestry area, I think. So I was just counting them all up there, turning them on, making use of the workforce. So they're all on now, but obviously we haven't been delivering caribou or pemmican in here yet. So there's actually plenty of room for the workforce to grow within the existing homes already. So now it's pretty straightforward. I might even go quiet at bits during this because it's pretty straightforward what I'm doing. I'm just laying out where all the hunting cabins are going to go. Got the heater in the center next to a warehouse, and I'm basically just trying to make sure that with a little bit of overlap, they all have about 100% of that kind of forestry area. And yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Alright, I think I'll have to leave the time-lapse there. I've actually spent nearly an hour trying to figure this all out and build up this island and sort out the trader. The Arctic is really challenging. I'm actually getting a little nervous because obviously here I want to get the series moving. keep progressing, but I'm struggling. I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling to keep things going, especially because we're limited on influence. I feel like I need Arctic Lodges to really squeeze more out of everybody. And I also just need to... I think I need to go for a walk, if I'll be honest, and clear my head and think about how to do this properly. But essentially here on this island, Humpback Quays, got a little bit of Arctic flu, don't worry about it. Rangers are on top of it. At Humpback Quays, we have 6 whaling stations, maximizing every bit of coastline we can just to get as much whale oil as possible. Actually, it's one of the saddest sights I think I've ever seen in this game. But there it is. And then we have 7 caribou hunting cabins, all out here, supplied with heat, everything's all good. Now this island obviously is on the trade route to receive coal, so coal doesn't seem to be an issue. It's been running for quite a while and they seem to have plenty, so that's all working out just fine. Now the raw ingredients of whale oil and caribou are then shipped out of this island and brought to King William. And here, I've got my kind of production center, right? We've got all these pemmican cookhouses that are combining these two goods and turning them into pemmican. That pemmican is then obviously used for our second good of our explorers, and it's consumed by them. So, it's great for here, obviously. So, I've actually removed the hunting cabins that were originally here, saving on space. But I've also then I'm shipping that pemmican out back to this island. Now, that might seem a bit inefficient, and it might be, because we could have a pemmican cookhouse here just sorting these guys out. But it's just kind of part of the trade route that's supplying all islands with our base goods. And then this airship is also on the route to pick up that excess pemmican and bring it to the glaciers. Okay, so I know that's a bit messy, but hopefully it makes sense. I'll show you the trade route as well. So here's our Arctic basic supply. So essentially, it's doing 2 different things. Alright, so this is what I was saying earlier about doubling up on the same trade routes, or using the same ships to do different things. So we have, for instance, it's not the most efficient. Stop judging me. But anyway, basically this ship is going to Fort Worry, right, this smaller island here. It's picking up the seal skin and the goose feathers, and it's unloading any pemmican that may be on there, right, to give them food and grow their workforce. It brings it to King William, where it's unloading the seal skin and the goose feathers, which is being used to... I actually can't even remember what it's used for. I'll check that in a minute. But, you know, it's a raw ingredient that's used in one of our production buildings. And then we're loading all that pemmican that's being made over there. That's then going to Humpback Quays to feed the people. And then that's being brought... then they're picking up, caribou meat and whale oil. That's then being brought back to King William one more time, where they load pemmican again. So that's essentially the situation. On top of that, we're going to have the glacier route. Guess we could have a look at that really quickly. Which is picking up coal, pemmican, and oil. And that's going to take it to Hopefell, our glacier. Now, I haven't actually got that route running just yet, because I wanted to check that everything was working okay. Now, the only thing I can see wrong, or potentially an issue on this route, is because we're dealing with so many different goods. If we're picking up too much, we'll be throwing it overboard, because we're discarding cargo to make sure we can pick up stuff, which is a waste. Damn, see, this isn't going to work. I've just explained how this isn't probably working out just right. Although, actually, it probably is. If we have the airship running at the same time, then it might be okay. I know that I'm producing enough, I'm just not dividing it up right, I think. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Now, the other issue I have here is you'll notice that several of my buildings are paused, and that's because we've got too many technicians. Now, we don't have enough technicians if we want to make more airships, which we do, obviously, eventually. But right now, we don't have enough explorers, is really the issue. Let's see what this quest is all about.
Something that'll make things a lot easier for all of us.
Will our mission in the Arctic last much longer? If so, we might want to look into improving the thermal insulation of our tents. Cement is cold, but the frozen ground is colder.
That you're willing to try means a lot to me.
Bring them cement? Yeah, I could do that. So yeah, like, I'd love to spend more and more time trying to fix that situation over there, but I have actually spent an hour, rather embarrassingly, setting all that up, and now I'm starting to question whether it was worth it or it works at all. Why is this ship here? I can't remember why. What did they need? Cement. Actually, it might be perfect that it's here. Is it a raw material? Yes, it is. Let's see how much they needed. Only 20. Okay, not too bad. Off you go. Alright, cool. Let's go back to daytime. Alright, back to the Arctic. Let's figure this out. Now, we do have a little quest to do here, actually, which is to sail to Nate's warehouse. Not warehouse, sorry, his airship. So let's just say, vestiges of greatness. The explorer wonders if you might be able to find the remains of the HMS Angry Wrath and Sir William Perry had to abandon. The ship that Sir William Perry had to abandon in the ice during his expedition. So sail to Old Nate's workshop.
This is some scrap from William Perry's failed expedition. Still good for a lot of things.
So I guess he's seeing that we had that scrap on board. Yeah.
Cherish this marriage.
So he's just telling us about it, and he's saying like we can transmute things and get better items. Items are great, man, if I had any influence to use them. But I don't. Not right now. Not without growing our population to 33,000, I think it is. 31,000. So we're only about 2,000 off, actually. It's not too bad. And we have both gas islands. I've actually bought a bunch of items from the Inuit. Let's see. But again, I can't really use them. Yeah, some of these would be really good. I'm just going to buy a few of them. We can check them out later, really. Alright, so let's have a look. Would it be smarter to set up a little pemmican cookhouse here? I mean, that would mean that essentially one of these and one of these is just reserved for here. See, I know that if I had another ship, I could sort this route out just fine. Okay, yeah, I'm going to redo the route. I might as well just do it now. Let's just delete all this. Give me this ship. It's only got 3 pemmican. Just throw it overboard. It's useless. Okay, so let's do this again. Trade route. We want to go from... The first thing I know that I want to do is we have to get the sealskin from Fort Worry and bring it to King William, right? So let's just do that. I'm just going to break it down into its most basic parts first. So that's part 1, done, right? We're importing something we need. The other thing I know we need is to go to here and go back to here, right? We need to import the raw materials of whale oil and also caribou, right? That's our basic stuff there. So that's that. That's done. Now, if you want to supply islands with anything, I know that this island, Fort Worry, needs pemmican. The islands are pretty close together, but so how can we do that? So we can basically go Fort Worry, King William. So load pemmican. We could start it, I guess, this way. Consumer good. Load your pemmican and unload it there. I'd be tempted to say wait to unload, because that port doesn't do anything other than just sit there and wait. And I doubt we'll have 50. So wait to unload pemmican. Then it's going to go to Humpback Quays. My god, why can't I do this? I don't know what's wrong with me. I just can't figure out like a good way of getting this to work properly without just having separate routes. I'm sure people are probably screaming at the idea of me not failing at this so hard. It's so weird as well, because I've obviously done the Arctic before, and I didn't have any... I don't remember it being particularly challenging. But that was, I don't know, a good few patches ago. Maybe things are just different. Or I just am losing my mind. Again, I just feel like this is all wrong, so I'm just going to redo that. Alright, so there to there. There to there. Have it all separate. Just make this an import route. And then I might just separately deliver pemmican to both islands, because I just don't know how else to do it. And have it, like, correct. So just sealskin, goose feathers. Unload that all. That should be fine. Yeah, I'm not going to get crazy. I'm just going to leave it, and then we're going to go to Humpback Quays, and we're just going to load the whale, and we're going to load the pemmican, unload it all at King William again. Then I'm going to go to the trader, and I'm going to buy everything he has. And we're going to go back. And we're going to unload it again. Then we're going to sail out. And we're going to deliver. Yeah, okay, I could do that here. That would make sense. So if this place is full, you can discard. That's okay. Now we're going to load consumer goods, a little bit of pemmican, just right there. And we're going to unload it there. And if you can't unload that, discard it. No, actually wait to unload. I would say wait to unload. I don't think it'll ever have 50. And I think that's okay. That's just grayed out. I was wondering why it was grayed out. Okay. Yeah, this works. Alright, I think it does anyway. It's interesting how many little ships I have with lots of bits on them. Where's the ship that we just took off that route? I can't see it. Huh, weird. Okay, that's a bit confusing. Let's just say AC supply. Oh, it's still on the right route, that's why. And the next update is actually pretty cool. You can group your trade routes, which is kind of nice. I didn't get to play around with it yet, I just saw it. Alright, I mean, it's got to be done. I can't time-lapse the whole thing. I'll be here for a whole day recording and nobody will see anything. But let's see. So, let's find that ship now. So there it is. Is that the beginning of its route? AC supply. It starts at Fort Worry, dropping off pemmican, which it doesn't have. So let's just speed it up a little bit for now. And here we are picking up those raw materials. And that's now going to be taken back down here. And that's just, you've seen it all now. So it's just going to go through that several times.
I want to look after everyone.
Provide the cement. Okay, cool. So that's that done. Let's have a look then at
ever meet my standard?
glacier supply. So we're just loading coal, loading pemmican, and oil lamps. See, this is the kind of thing where I feel like, yeah, that's a wait to unload job, isn't it? So as we get there, just wait to unload it, make sure that everything can be emptied. Now, we're not consuming anything, so this route's eventually going to stop, because obviously there's nobody up here. Alright, so the next thing then to do would be to raise our population here. I could demote all these others and not have any technicians, which might work for now. It's probably not the smartest idea, considering this is where all the post offices and things that technicians use are. But we could start to, now that we're flooding the place with coal, we could start to like build some extra houses out this way or something like that.
A competitor's island is under siege.
People did say wood would be a good idea to bring up here, and I can see why. Just gonna move this for a second. It's the best way to kind of see.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
Alright, so we'll need a canteen, and the canteen doesn't actually need to be heated, which someone pointed out in the comments, which is really useful. I didn't know that. Just get some extra houses along this stretch here. So that's coal as well. Yeah, let's get rid of these charcoal kilns. We don't need them. It's going to save our workforce. Just going to get rid of that as well. Let's get rid of this. Clean up this island a bit more. Oh my god. My keys lock sometimes in this. Yeah, maybe actually building up there would be better first. What is this? This is the bear hunting cabin. Yeah, so I'm going to move this over here instead. So it's 100% if we just leave it there. Let's do that. And it's heated. Alright, so I don't have to look at that area for a while. So we're basically getting rid of our charcoal kilns because we're essentially importing a huge amount of coal that should be fine. I actually haven't even checked that route. I'm just going to check something really quickly. Back at Lusk, I wonder is there like any shortages or any issues? There shouldn't be. Yeah, coal is fine there. Okay. Alright, that seems fine. Maybe it's all good. Maybe I'm just overthinking things. And they've got their... Oh yeah, I need to set a reserve of whale oil. Or of oil lamps, I should say. Oh crap, I actually just ran out of it. Come back here, I need this ship. I need this ship right now.
Looks like you have something. I'll follow your footsteps in the snow.
We got carpenter's tools, self-repair. Okay, that's kind of useless. Thanks, though. Right, drop that off, keep them happy. Alright, good. Gonna orientate the camera this way so we can see things a bit clearer. And now we can keep increasing this. Yeah, and build more and more workers. Alright, cool. Back on track. Just about. Just about. Where was that ship going? I don't know. I did say that I kind of want to redo this area eventually because we can make it a lot more uniform. There's a heater over there, actually. I'm just going to connect this road down. 1, 2, 3. 2. Yeah, there's good room here, actually, for extra houses. Alright, that's good. And then, I don't know, we could connect something up like this. I am going to redo this area. I'm just not going to do it this episode. Because if you see this place, like this one is, I think anyway, much more efficient. Like the amount of space I'm using, and I'm only using 2 heaters, 3 I guess. Well, that one's really for the production over here actually. But I feel like I was playing around as well before up here. And essentially what I did was, if you look at this, it goes 18 tiles out in all directions, okay? Something like that. And we can see that pipe just about going along there. There you go. That's an easy way to see it, yeah? So what you could do is basically it's going to be built out in a sort of radius. So something like that. So one heater can really cover a lot if you were to divide it up into kind of like a rib cage style thing, you know? And it'll get less and less each time, but you can still cover like a huge amount. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's just something like that. And this shows you, like, yeah, we're kind of doing this, like I said, ribcage style thing. And then what you could do is, if you imagine it like just like a radius like this, a circular radius, well then you know that, like, okay, well one here will cover like, I don't know, about there. And then one here will cover about there. And then one here. And if you stagger them in a way that they are not overlapping, like this ends here, yeah? So if we had another one like here, for instance, you know what I mean? It would like even out. That's how you ideally want to be placing your heaters, all right? I'm not stupid. At least I think that's a good way of doing it. I just haven't
Withstood an attack.
I didn't build that way initially. I should really do that in the future. Now, I've never looked up anything to do with the Arctic or anything. I don't know how people build up here. I just wing it myself. But just thinking it through, I know that this is like a mess, right? Because there's one there, there's one there, there's one there. Really, this to me looks like you could probably maybe even get away with having one somewhere like here and actually hitting almost everything. Or at worst case scenario, one there and stagger it to like one here and stagger it a bit further up, like one there. Like it's almost like that, but it's definitely not as efficient as it could be. And then having to heat the buildings. And then now knowing that you don't need to heat your canteens, you know, you have those, again, you have those canteens like on the extremities of those diagonals, right? So on the corners of your circle, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean, though. On the bit where it doesn't come out the longest, the diagonal away from the building, that's where you should have your canteens then. And that way you're maximizing space. You could even have then warehouses in there too. So I know all that. It's just a huge time sink. I just don't have infinite time to do all this. But we're growing our population now. It's looking good. So we've put down these extra houses here. They're not going to have canteens. But apparently they do. Yeah, that one doesn't. Okay, good. So let's just cut the road here. Tuck that in. Tuck that in. Pull that back by 1 and then connect the road this way. Nice block of heated homes right there.
You'll always be a goody-goody.
Thank you. Cool. Alright, great. So that's a good amount of extra population that we just squeezed in. There's actually loads of room here. I'm probably just panicking over nothing. I'm sure I can just reorganize this fairly quickly. Maybe I'll do it in between episodes, or I'll do it in an episode if people want. It's hard to tell. The next episode you see is going to be focused on docklands, or at least we'll be doing stuff there. And I'll probably periodically come back here just to make sure we keep raising the population. I'm not doing Embessa until we get gas. That's just not happening. And then we can say, like, we're relatively done with this area. Cool thing about docklands as well is you can actually buy things like caribou and all these DLC goods and things and bring them up here if you wanted to. So there's also that. All right, now I can build that and build that. Let them operate. They're all operational now. Good. Let's have a little zoom in. We haven't zoomed in properly in a while. I know people keep asking. Sorry that I zoom out so much. But it is really nice to see the details on things. It's really cool, actually. You'll notice that here, they're now using... oh, actually, they should be, but I don't see them using it. Oh, that's strange. I was going to say, once you provide them with sleds, they start using sleds with wolves, not sleds with horses. Yeah, that's weird. I could have sworn they actually changed it so that once you get that good up and running, it's just like in the old world. In the old world, once you get steam carriages, you'll see like different things running around your roads. Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it. I'm just seeing horses. I don't know, maybe you can let me know. Maybe it's because I demoted a certain amount of technicians, but we're below 1,000. That could be why, maybe. That could be why. I definitely saw them before. There they are, right there. Yeah, there they are. They don't appear until you, Oh, maybe that's how people get about, but these are still, like, the items. Oh, yeah, that could be it. That could be it. So this is, like, such a heavy production area that I'm guessing down here there's much more people walking. Yeah. That's probably it. Man, the game does look good. Can't get over it. Alright. So, what's next on the list? Let's move to daytime. Actually, something I forgot to do is pick up what we got at the World's Fair. Let's get the Esplanade design again. Nice. So, I was thinking if we could do another expedition. We haven't done one in a while. Maybe I don't have the ship here. I'm looking for my Great Eastern. Oops, wrong place. There it is. Yeah, so let's send that back to the old world. God, it's snowing so heavily. Holy crap.
Cargo boat at the ready.
Yeah, it's snowing super heavily right now. This guy can come back with his item as well. Alright, things do seem stable. I haven't seen any problems here. How are we doing pemmican-wise? They seem okay. Oh yeah, the only way this is going to work now is if I put down at least one pemmican cookhouse here. And then they'll probably keep their own demand satiated, I would hope. Man, I can't wait to get that patch tomorrow, really. So that this lag goes away. It's really weird. Okay, anyway. So that's the pemmican cookhouse there. So they're going to be consuming some of their own raw goods, but at least they'll keep their own population pretty happy. Let's see if does that cover? It does actually. So one pemmican cookhouse is actually keeping these guys happy. So they don't need pemmican to be delivered here. And I don't think am I delivering any here? No, I've decided not to. I'm just delivering it to Fort Worry, the small island. Cool. Yep, that makes sense then. Again, I'm sure there's better ways to do it, but at least it's working. So on trade route, so we have Eli's messenger is on its way back now. Good. Do you need an engine? They all seem to have their engines now, which is nice. This could do with one. There we go. And now we can move this and activate its speed. So it's a 25% bonus to speed when activated.
Attention for the Admiral.
Nice. Okay, cool. And we're buying everything we can from that the Inuit, so at least we're also getting extra stuff. And this place is filling up. Awesome. All right. I think I've kind of done it. But that's only the bottom tier. We still need to get, like, the next tier of goods. So that basically means I am now supplying the glacier with everything that that explorers need. But we need to now start figuring out how to get them what the technicians are going to need. Did I not set that? I thought I did. I guess I didn't save it properly. Just set that minimum stock of... To be honest, set it at 100 if you can. There you go. 100. Set this at 100 as well. So I think I'll just have a look, double check, but I think we're overproducing sleeping bags. Yeah, only by a tiny amount. So really that needs to be improved. So that is the seal hunting, that's the goose feathers, and then the sleeping bag factory. So if we look at Fort Worry, and we go to agricultural products, we can see that the goose feathers and the seal skin is basically all sorted out. There's not much more we can get out of it, but we have to try. So let's slam down another one and try to increase our population here. This has to be done if we want to live on a glacier. All this so we can get gas, not use oil, even though I've got far more oil than I even need right now. There you go, they're working on that, no problem. So we'll need another goose farm, which is going to require 35 explorers. So let's see, is there any extra heat? What's the coal situation up here, I wonder? It's maxed out, so maybe we could put down another heater and then build some extra houses. We're kind of low on construction material as well. Let's do that for now. Bring this out this way. Okay. So that should be enough. That should be more than enough. And then we can put the goose farm like here or something.
Is there something wrong?
That doesn't need to be heated anyway, but it's fine. I really just need the buildings working. This place is really just specializing in those two things. It doesn't really need to do anything else. I'm surprised this can't make it to here. Oh yeah, I guess not. So this is seal skin. Let's have a look at them. Oh yeah, you can see them drying there actually. That's pretty cool. And I guess they just... Oh yeah, we did have a look at that. Yeah, I remember now. Alright, dropping off the coal. Plenty of coal. So if this ship ever gets low on coal, if we see like there's a small amount on the ship, then I know that something's going wrong. But as long as it has an excess, it's always fine. But if I ever see that ship having 0 coal on it, I know that there's something wrong. I hate that that bug. Anyway.
I have so many goats on.
So just waiting on this to receive its coal and that should be fine. I'll just let that speed up. But anyway, so we've increased the amount of goose feathers and we've increased the amount of seal skin, which means we can go back here now and just increase that even further, right? So we've actually a good population growing again. So that was for sleeping bags. Now we have 2 sleeping bag factories there. Just make another one right here. Put down another warehouse. It's heated. It's not an issue. There you go. Oh, my sound is cutting out. That means I'm getting the notice to wrap it up, I guess. But yeah, definitely reorganize this area. If I get more... See, what I'm kind of... The reason... You might be thinking, like, why not reorganize it now? The reason I'm kind of waiting on it is if we get more influence, then I can actually build it based around a couple Arctic lodges and know that, like, for instance, Pemmican, for instance, we could heavily reduce the workforce. If we have a look at some of the items I've just picked up, Arctic Lodge items, we have affects caribou and bear hunting, the maintenance cost goes down, the forest density goes up. Huh, I've never seen that before. That's kind of interesting. Reduces the number of trees needed, so you could have it more against a cliff or against other buildings. Affects parka factory and sleeping bag factories. Productivity goes up, maintenance goes down. Lumberjack hut, sled frame, sawmill, and husky sled. Productivity, workforce reduced in half. Goose farm, husky farm, productivity 40%, occasionally produces caribou. You know, so we've got some really good items here. Workforce negative 30%, workforce negative 50% for goose farms and husky farms, and lumberjack huts, sled frame factory, husky sleds. So I'd love to be able to use some of these. Just don't have the damn influence. So that's what I'm working on. We get 15 influence when we hit our next population milestone, so we'll have 25. We can build 1 Arctic Lodge, and then if I can condense a few of those trade routes ships down, maybe we can get another one then. Oh, and then also put down new investor households. We need to get to 10,000 anyway, right? So I think when I focus docklands in the next episode, we'll do that a little bit more as well. Now, what's your issue? Have I not set minimum thresholds? I keep seeing that, and I keep saying like, oh, I did, but we still burn through it. Uh-oh. It's old world to Arctic coal. We've got 1 ship that's full to the, basically full to the brim. Let's check where it is. Oh, there they are. They're actually traveling together. I hate when that happens. It's so inefficient. I just wish you could do something where it's like space yourselves out, please. But I can never figure out how to do that. Well, that's a bit of a problem. We've run out of coal. So that means I need to set the minimum here to be more than 150. I have to set it to be like 200. The other places have so much coal, actually. I don't mind setting this to like 250. Yeah. Okay. Just trying to think, is there anything else I need to do? I mean, we've got that sleeping bag, so the next thing then would be...
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
The glacier supply route is going to also be picking up sleeping bags and dropping them off. So then what this is what I'm probably going to do here is be like, yeah, wait to unload everything. Sorry, wait to unload everything, then go back here again, but then pick up the second tier. Rather than have 2 trade routes, just get the same ship doing the same thing, because it's not that far. And they're not going to be consuming it that fast. So I think that would make sense to do it that way. That's the plan. So I could have a really quick look actually and see consumer goods wise, how are we for the higher tier stuff? So, oh yeah, so coffee, schnapps, and canned goods, I've actually checked that. That's totally fine. We can start setting up another island. No problem with that being delivered. So all it comes down to then really is parkas and husky sleds. Really? Is that it? That's actually not too bad. That means we've done it, essentially.
The temperature is bearable.
Yeah, because their needs are a post office. They have the canned goods. So yeah, the husky sleds. What are the husky sleds situation? Do we have too many? Slightly. Slightly. Considering we have 880 technicians here, that means we could probably build 200 technicians. Now for gas, the whole point of this, right, if you remember right back to the beginning, was if we want to build a gas mine, we need, what was it? 250 technicians. Right, so we'll just do blueprint for now. And we can get our first one up and running. We'll need more steel. That's okay. Yeah, so 250 technicians. Now, we don't need any explorers. We don't need them for anything, because you don't produce anything here. So it's really just about supplying the explorers and building them up. It's really hard to tell how much time we have in this episode, but I feel like I've probably got time to do it. I think we'll do it in the next episode, achieve it while we're building the docklands. I think we could do it. Yeah, I'm going to set myself that goal. Because I'm fairly confident now. I mean, it's been a big struggle, and obviously we've run out of coal here, just temporarily, hopefully.
Cargo stations.
Just drop that off for now, actually, and just put them back on the route. So coal is back here now, fine. We're not going to pick it up again. So, I mean, for me, anyway, this is a hell of a journey, because my recording timer right now says 2 hours and 5 minutes. That's how long I'll be going. And that's probably why the sound is cutting out a little bit. So once these... We should see all these temperature gauges go away now once you start delivering coal again. It's weird the way we deliver so much more sealskin, I guess. Maybe you produce it faster, I don't know. When they're cold, it's just an increased chance of sickness. It doesn't mean that they're going to start dying off. Plus, they've got the other things, right? So it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I mean, they need the heat. The heat, like coal is the main thing to keep them warm. The next one provides money and heat. So it's okay to run out of coal for a little bit as long as we've got enough of the other stuff. So it's good to know. Good to see that. Yeah, so it just literally just needs to get delivered around now by the different things. Alright, I think that's going to be it. I know this episode, at least to me, feels like it was a bit all over the place. Kind of apologize for that. I usually go into them with a bit more of a plan. I did have a plan, but I started questioning it after I'd finished it. So once we... Yeah, so basically, next episode, Docklands. As well as Docklands, I'll be periodically coming back up here just to make sure our trade routes, they're getting what they need to deliver the first stuff up here. And we'll just keep checking in over every now and then, do the upgrades, deliver construction material, and then bring back the gas. I think that's the ultimate goal. We have an available airship that's going to be bringing gas back to the old world, or at least bringing it to King William, and maybe we'll ship it then regularly. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode. I'm going to then also start having a look around for some of that, what's it called, lost expedition scrap, and see if we can transmute some items. But like I said, we need influence before we can really make use of anything terribly good, unless it's just items that goes on ships. I think that'll be it. Alright, thank you guys again very much for watching. If you are watching this the day it comes out, remember Wednesday I'll be streaming Anno pretty much the entire day. Excuse me. And you can get your Twitch drops if you watch my channel, twitch.tv/RepublicaPlay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video is being copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that will give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.